Jaya Dvaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, Jaya Jaya Śrī Caitanya, Jaya Nityaānanda, Jaya Dvaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale, Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine, Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini, Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschat Deshatarini, Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityaānanda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, Hare Kṛṣṇa Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Dear Vaishnavas, thank you so much for joining. We are reading Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta, Adi Lila, chapter 5, entitled The Glories of Lord Nityaānanda Balarāma. And it is such a divine coincidence or Krishna's plan that His Grace Adhikar Prabhu also spoke on this topic. He covered a lot of verses actually, but we will still read it since he kind of covered a lot of verses in a summary, but for our own purification. And the more we read, the more we learn, the more we purify ourselves. So just to give a brief background, Śrī Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is sharing an instance of the unlimited, the Ananta, the Apar Ananta Karuna of Lord Nityaānanda Ram. And he's sharing one of those instances. So what happened on one day, the Kirtan was arranged at the home of Śrī Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. Right? And everyone was there. And Mīnaketana Ramdas, who was a great devotee, the word used is prema rupa, or he was the embodiment of pure love, prema, the ocean of love. So very, very exalted devotee in short. And he came, and we were talking about obeisance. We're talking about respect, that how we should offer respects to devotees. So everyone with great joy, with great devotion, they offered their respect. So let's see what happens further. Text number 164. Namaskar korite karo uparite chade prema karo prema kare vamshi mare kaha ke chapade. In the translation by C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, in joyful mood of love of God, he sometimes climbed upon the shoulder of someone offering obeisance, and sometimes he struck others with his flute or mildly slapped them. So His Grace Adhikar Prabhu explained this in great detail, so I will not go in too much detail. But the point here is not, we cannot imitate this. He is no ordinary person. He is always in that divine, always meditating upon the Nitya Lila of Radha Krishna. He is not like a Kanishta or Madhyama Bhakta. He is a very high class person, the embodiment of Krishna Prema. And it's often very hard to understand the activities and pastimes of such people. Ordinary people may think, oh, he looks like a very uncultured person, right? If someone bows down and then someone steps on their shoulders, it's a less intelligent person will consider him or her to be very uncultured. Hey, well, this is not manners. This is not good manners to, if someone is bowing down and then you are like climbing on their shoulder. But those rules don't apply to Mahabhagavad devotees. Vaishnavera kridya kriya mudra bhigya na bhujai. We cannot understand the activities of the Mahabhagavatas. So we should not try to judge them. Rather, we should just try to, kind of see the heart, the So much love they have for Krishna. Out of love, it's also very important that he would strike the flute he was carrying in the Sakha Bhav. Out of love, he would strike the flute. Okay, 165, yes. Viputro, you want to read, please?
Sure, Guruji. Hare Kṛṣṇa devotees, Dhanavad Pranam, all goes to Śrīla Prabhupada, text 165. যে নয়ন দেখিতে অশ্রু হয় মনে যার, সেই নেত্রে অবিচ্ছিন্ন ভয়ে অশ্রুধার। Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivinoda Swami Prabhupada, Śrīla Prabhupada Vijaya. When someone saw the eyes of Mīnaketana Ramdas, tears would automatically flow from his own eyes. For a constant shower of tears flow from the eyes of the Mīnaketana Ramdas. So as a great devotee, always in Krishna consciousness and actually Nityaānanda Prabhu consciousness. All the time, Mīnaketana Das is a great servant, always in love of Godhead, and he's always in constant tears. And looking at him, also others get the same devotional mood. Back to Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Prabhu, for such wonderful words. I also thought to take one more verse about the glories of glancing on exalted devotees. So I was reading this story with the kids yesterday, and this verse came to my attention, or I was fortunate to come across this verse, which speaks very nicely in this same, like the darshane pavitra karo etamara guna, right? Just by seeing the eyes of a pure devotee. When someone saw the eyes of this devotee, Mīnaketana Ramdas, seeing his love, they would have constant shower of tears. So those who have love of Krishna can give love of Krishna to others. Those who have the tears of love of Krishna can give the tears of love of Krishna to others. So this is the point here. Let's read one more verse about the glories of someone wants to read. This is Canto 10, chapter 86, text 52. Anyone wants to read this? Yes, Sudhir Prabhu, you want to read this one?
Sure, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna devotees, Dhanavad Pranam, all goes to Śrīla Prabhupada. Text number 52. Divya kshetrani tirtyani darshana sparshanas srachanya saniya punati kalena tad api arhatama kshaya mekshaya. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai. One can gradually become purified by seeing, touching, and worshipping temple deities, places of pilgrimage, and holy rivers. But one can attain the same result immediately simply by receiving the glance of exalted sages. Purport. Rather than remaining in seclusion and concentrating on their own perfection, Vaishnava Brahmanas of the highest order dedicate their lives to sharing the benediction of the Lord's devotional service. In other words, of the sons of King Prachinibari, Tesam Vicharatam Padbhayam Tirtayanam Pravachnacheya Bitasya Kim Na Rochate Tavakanam Samagama. Dear Lord, your personal associates, your devotees wander all over the world to purify every holy places of pilgrimage. Is not such activity pleasing to those who are actually afraid of material existence. Bhāgavatam, Canto 4, 30th chapter, 37th verse. And Prahlad Maharaj says, Prayena deva munaya swa vimukti kama maunam charanti vijena na prataha nishtaya naitan vihya krapanan vimukkuche eko nainam tvad asya saranam brahmato anupsaye. My dear Lord Narasimhadev, I see that there are many saintly persons indeed, but they are interested only in their own deliverance, not caring for the big cities and towns. They go to Himalayas or the forest to meditate with vows of silence, Maunarata. They are only interested in delivering others. As for me, however, I do not wish to be liberated alone, leaving aside all those poor fool rascals. I know that without Krishna consciousness, without taking the shelter of your lotus feet, one cannot be happy. Therefore, I wish to bring them back to your shelter at your lotus feet. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. A very beautiful verse, Prabhuji. Here we can see that pure devotees not only actually I got reminded of one incident where Ganga Mata prays that all of them are coming and taking dip and polluting, but then when the pure devotees come and take a dip in Ganga, even the Ganga gets purified. So the pure devotees are like Narada Muni, great sages. Wherever they go, they purify everything and everyone over there. Even Ramanujacharya, so he got that mantra from his guru. So he said that I'm going to distribute it to everyone, even though he promised that he's not going to. But he was even ready to go to hell than to liberate. Because one else can liberate. So that's my understanding. Please add correct. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, bro. So all these things like deity worship, going to temples, pilgrimage sites, holy places, tirthani, sacred rivers, darshana, sparshana, archana, worshipping, shani, they gradually purify. These are all nice things to do. But when one takes the darshan of the Vaishnavas, ikshaya, by the glance, by that tat api kalena, at that very time, kalena tat api, at the same time, one is purified just by their glance. So that's exactly happened here. When they saw the Mīnaketana Ramdas, they were immediately purified and they got such divine experience because of his mercy. Yes, Vijaya Mataji, you want to read next verse?
Okay, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Prabhu, arrange dekhi palka kadamba eka ange judya jadya tanara ara enge kampa. Sorry. Translation. Sometime there were eruptions of Ecstasy like kadamba flower on some parts of his body, and sometime one limb would be stunned while another would be trembling. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. These are some of the symptoms of ecstasy shown. Romancha kampa shrutaranga bhajo vande guru Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta. So ecstatic symptoms, there are ashtasattvic vikar, but A pure devotee may sometimes exhibit these trembling, stunning, hair standing on end, eruptions of ecstasy. So the point is, he was in a very transcendental, divine, ecstatic mood, as shown in this particular text. So some of the symptoms of ecstasy are shared here. Let's read a little more. Supradeep Prabhu. Nityaānanda boliya be kare na hunkar, taha dekhi lokera haya mahachamatkar. Whenever he shouted aloud the name Nityānanda, the people around him were filled with great wonder and astonishment. Nityaānanda hunkar. So he refers to Mīnaketana Ramdas. So in great ecstasy, he was shouting the name hunkar. So we should also chant, especially in the public kirtan, we should do hunkar. We should do hunkar of Lord Krishna's holy name. Chant loudly. Dance with enthusiasm, especially when we have a program, especially when we have festivals. We should chant, dance, make everyone chant, dance. This is the Yoga Dharma. Lord Chaitanya came specifically to do this, whole night chanting, dancing. Everyone loves this. Everyone, feels naturally transformed into a transcendental atmosphere. And once enthusiasm is contagious. And so is laziness also. Or so is kind of like, if we are just casually just standing, then others will also say, okay, everyone is just standing, and then let me also. But if a few people are really enthusiastic and then they help to build that enthusiasm, 1 + 1 makes it 11. 11 + 11 makes like 1011. So, especially this Janmashtami festival is coming. We should, especially for kirtan, dancing, this is very, very important limb of bhakti. So we should chant loudly in these public programs and dance with enthusiasm, and everyone will be very happy with that. Yes, people, you want to read?
Sure, Guruji. Also, devotees, Dhanar Pranam, text 168. গুণনব মিশ্র নামে এক বিপ্র আর্য শ্রীমূর্তি নিকটে তেহ করে সেবা কার্য. Translation by His Divine Grace as Bhakti Prabhupada Śrīla Prabhupada. One respectable Brahman named Sri Gurnabu Mishra was serving the deity. As Atri Gaudaprabhu explained that the pujari of Krishnadas Goswami is Gurnanabu Mishra. So he is very devoted to Lord Gauranga, but he did not realize the supreme nature of the Lord Nityaānanda. So he didn't show proper respect when the Mīnaketana Ramdas, who is the servant of the Nityaānanda Prabhu, came. So he continued doing his duty as a priest without giving proper respect to Nityaānanda Mahāprabhu. Back to Prabhuji. Hare Kṛṣṇa.
Thank you, Prabhu. Angane ashiya tinho na koila sambhasha, taha dekhi kruddha hono bole Ramadasa. When Mīnaketana was seated in the yard, this Brahmana did not offer him respect. Seeing this, Sri Ramadas became angry and spoke. We already covered that point. So he was busy worshipping the deity, but ignored the topmost devotee. This is a classic symptom of Kanishta Vaishnava. They want to serve the deity, but the Krishna says, Mad Bhakta Pujyadika, worshipping my devotee is higher than worshipping me. A pure Vaishnava a pure Brahmana is standing right there, sitting right there in the yard, but he was busy actually consciously busy. One is busy out of ignorance. Okay, you know, like let's say someone is worshipping, like for example, the classic example of who was that? When Parikshit Maharaj went, who was that sage? Shamik Rishi's ashram. The Shamik Rishi did not offer respect, right? But that was not a conscious, he did not do that intentionally, right? It was because of he was not aware of Parikshit's presence. So that's a different situation altogether. And when he got to know, he was all actually like repentant that, oh, a great king came and I did not offer my respect, right? So two kind of similar, externally similar situation of not offering respect, but totally different things. I was also connecting this to Daksha's yagya, where Lord Shiva does not offer respect. But again, Lord Shiva does not offer respect not because of any envy to Daksha. Rather, Daksha was the one who was thinking that I deserve respect. And Shiva certainly was very higher than Daksha. Although Daksha's son-in-law is Shiva, but in spiritual circle, by spiritual advancement, spiritual maturity, Shiva is much higher than Daksha. So we know that's a long story that how the fight happened and all that. But the point here is that Ramdas became angry. And let's see what he spoke. Yes, Sudhir Prabhu, want to read?
Sure, Prabhuji. Ete Advaita Sutta Roma Harshana Bala Deva Dekiyena Kaila Pratyuk Gama. Translation based on Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Here I find the second Roma Harshana Sutta, who did not stand to show honor when he saw Lord Balarāma. Hare Kṛṣṇa Prabhuji. So as you just mentioned, so he did not show any honor to Lord Balarāma, who was spiritually very, very advanced. Thank you.
Who did not offer respect to Balram? You're on mute, Prabhu.
Oh, sorry. You just mentioned, which I forgot the name. I just forgot the name, Prabhuji. You just mentioned.
Ramdas?
Ramdas, yeah, Ramdas.
Ramdas did not offer respect to Balram.
No, Ramdas did not respect the Mīnaketana Ramdas. And the comparing with this Romotion not showing respect to the Balaram in Nomasharana.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I did not follow it fully.
So how I find the second Romharsh? So he's basically comparing this instance. So he's acting like Homer Harshan Sutta, who did not offer respect to Lord Balram.
Okay.
So now a question may come, a devotee is amanina manadena. So what does that mean? Amanina manadena?
Give respect to everybody, irrespective of their positions.
And don't expect.
And don't expect, yeah. Amanina manadena. Man dena, or don't expect any man. Don't expect man samman. But here, let's look at this previous words. This Brahmana did not offer respect. I have a question for all of you. Why did Sri Ramadas become angry? A pure devotee said, okay, what's the big deal? You did not offer respect to me. That's fine, right? A manina, right? A pure devotee should not be expecting respect. If someone does not bow down, it's okay. I'm just a humble, blade of grass. So why he got angry?
So this is out of compassion, because he has to teach others. They are the leadership position, like Prabhupada is to call rascals and different, but that way he teaches, he likes so much his devotees. So to correct, that way we learn also in the future generations.
Okay. Any other thoughts? Actually, the real reason, as I think Prabhuji also mentioned in this class, why Mīnaketana did not offer respect, because Ramadas was connected to Nityaānanda. So, Ramadas is not upset for him not being offered respect. He's upset because in this case, Gunarnava Mishra is disrespecting his Ishtadev, that is Nityaānanda, Balarāma. And one should never tolerate the disrespect of Guru and Krishna. That's why he is getting angry. So, Krodha Bhakta Dveshi Jane. The use of anger must be towards the people who are envious of Krishna and devotees. So that was the reason. Let's read the next one. 171. Yes, Vijay Mataji or Supradeep Prabhu, are you in a position to read this? Vijay Mataji, please, you can read.
Hare Krishna. Ita bali nache gaya karya santosha Krishna karya kare vipara na karila rasha rosha. After saying this, he danced and sang to his heart content, but the Brahmana did not become angry, for the was then serving Lord Krishna. Purport. Mīnaketana Ramadas was a great devotee of Lord Nityānanda. When he entered the house of Krishnadas Kaviraj Gunarnava Mishra, the priest who was worshipped the deity installed in the house, did not receive him very well. A similar event occurred when Roma Harsha Sutta was speaking to the great assembly of sages of Naimissaranam. Lord Baldev entered that great assembly, but the assembly known to other respect to Lord Baldev. The behavior of Gauranga Mishra indicate that he had no great respect for Lord Nityaānanda, and this idea was not all palatable to Mīnaketana Ramadas. For this reason, the mentality of Mīnaketana Ramadas is never depreciated by devotees. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So, the purport, Prabhupada is explaining a little bit more as we discussed that the story of Ramaharshan Sutta and Mīnaketana Ramadas parallelly. So, and we discussed this part as well. The behavior of Gunarna Vishnu indicated that he had no respect for Nityananda. That was the reason. And Mīnaketana Ramdas could not tolerate that. And for this mentality was never deprecated by devotees. So what does that mean? Can anyone explain in simple language what is being referred here? What's the meaning of the last line? Everyone knows what's deprecated?
So in the Google I opened, Prabhuji, express disapproval of.
So what does that mean now here?
So no longer valid, right, Prabhuji? Yes.
So Mīnaketana Das, what he, as you said, Prabhuji, he should be humble. Why he's showing anger? Because he did not respect Nityaṁ Prabhu. So Mīnaketana Ramdas was right. So other devotees did not disapprove the behavior of the Mīnaketana Ramdas.
Yes. So basically in Vaishnava circle, if someone gets angry on, oh, they did not offer me garland on Janmashtami. They are bad, they are this, they are this. Oh, I'm so nice devotee. They did not offer me garland. If someone, gets angry, will other devotees what will they say? Baba, are you a devotee or what are you talking about? Okay, if they did not offer garland, what's the big deal? There's so many things to do, so many, devotees supposed to be humble. So they will basically deprecate that devotee. They will disapprove of this mentality. This is not correct behavior, it's not Vaishnava. But in this case, they did not deprecate the mentality of Ramdas because he was not getting angry for his own accord, for his own insult, for his own disrespect, but for the disrespect of Lord Nityananda. That was the main reason. Utsavante gela tino kariya prasada murab bharta shane tanra kichu hailavada. At the end of the festival, Mīnaketana Ramdas went away, offering his blessings to everyone. At that time, he had some controversy with my brother. Who is my here?
Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami.
Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami. He is speaking this whole story. He is narrating this episode of Nityananda's mercy upon him and his family. So quite straightforward. The festival ended, and let's see what was this thing Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami is mentioning. Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhuji. Text 173. Śrī Caitanya প্রভুতে তার সুদৃঢ় বিশ্বাস, নিত্যানন্দ প্রতি তার বিশ্বাস আবাস. Translation by His Divine Grace, this is Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta. My brother had firm faith in Lord Chaitanya, but only a dim glimmer of faith in Lord Nityananda. So, Sri Krishna Goswami talking about his brother who had firm faith in Lord Chaitanya, but not in Lord Nityananda.
Thank you. So there are many people who directly want to approach Chaitanya Mahaprabhu or Krishna without getting the mercy of the Guru Tattva or Adi Guru Nityananda, Sri Raghunath Das Goswami. Nitai Kripa na paibe. Until one receives the mercy of Nityananda, one cannot reach Krishna. Until one has no faith in Nityananda, one cannot reach Chaitanya. So his brother has dim glimmer of faith. He did not have firm faith. So it's mentioned he had firm faith in Chaitanya. That's a big thing. But to not have a firm faith in Nityananda is certainly not a healthy sign of devotion. Let's see, 174. Yes, Sudhir Prabhu, please.
Iha jani Ramadasera Dukkha haila mane Tabe ta abhar Tare amik Karino Sane. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Knowing this, Sri Ramadasa felt unhappy in his mind. I then rebuked my brother. Thank you, Prabhupada. Please. Here he is telling that Ramadasa felt unhappy because he did not have faith on Lord Nityaānanda. So Krishna Ras Goswami, I think he's rebuked his brother to have firm faith even on Nitya. That's my limited understanding. Thank you.
So, there is no purport to this kind of a story and flowing fast. Quite straightforward. I will read, the passage His Grace Mahāprabhu shared. I felt it was quite important, especially in a devotee community. So, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati appreciated daring disciples who took risk in preaching and did not hedge or compromise. Very important. He referred to conciliators who always concile. Okay, you don't respect Nityaānanda, it's okay. Chalta hai, koi baat nahi, chalne do. That's not healthy, right? It's good for nothing. If we see something wrong and we are in the position to correct and help that person, most of you are leaders and helping new people to practice Krishna consciousness. Everyone is helping someone in some way or the other. So we should, if they make something, do something which is not aligned with the Vaishnava etiquette principles, we should tell them. Either they may be doing it unknowingly out of ignorance, or they may be doing out of because no one told them, or they may be doing it as a knowingly, unknowingly, whatever case, it's our duty and responsibility to tell. Otherwise, how will they know? Right? He referred to conciliators who always concile with things. Good for nothing. Shandera Gobara. Shandera. Sand ka gobar. Bull's cow dung. Bull's dung. Sand. So in short, stool. Although, for cow and bull, everything has a lot of value, but the point is it's like stool. Useless person. He cautioned his disciples that a flatterer can neither be a guru or a preacher. He told them, don't speak to please the janta. Don't become janta, to please a public. Do things to please Janardana, Krishna. Declare that those who do not perform Hari Bhajan are foolish and butchers of their souls, right? So basically the point here is that if we see something wrong, if we see someone against the Vaishnava principles, and we should do the needful, as here shown by the example of Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj. He rebuked his brother. Why? Because of not having faith in Lord Nityaānanda. It's not that, okay, you're my brother, chalo chalta hai. Of course, the point is that the whole idea is to make spiritual advancement. So, thought to connect that to today's discussion. Any quick comments, thoughts, questions anyone has in this connection before we take a pause for today? There's a little story which will take a few days, so we'll continue it tomorrow and continue with this beautiful story of Śrī Mīnaketana Ramdas, and a lot of lessons in this story as well. And I guess we will take a pause here and continue tomorrow. ग्रंथराज Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam की जय, Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta की जय, Śrī
Jai.
Krishna Goswami की जय, श्री Mīnaketana रामदास की जय, श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। वंशकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। Hare Krishna, thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.